you know, with my wife, you know, who Tina decided to go her own way. That's why you don't see her right here. But she want to go do something else, that's fine with me. We had our run. We had our run. So even though she had the stroke and getting older, she would never be like, oh man, she was always beautiful in my eyes until you say, I want to go do something else.
Yeah.
Now you're not as beautiful to me again. And the fact that if you decide to go this way, I'm gonna go that way, that's fine.
That's deep.
It is what it is, man. And like I said, anytime you can find somebody you can stay in love with for a long time or for one day or whatever, if you can witness that love, that's good. I had that with her. And I found somebody else, but it is what it is.
Wait, who?
No need to worry.
If a female stop fucking with you out the blue, she got a new nigga or her old nigga came back. And sometimes the new nigga never be a new nigga. You just never knew, nigga. Don't let that go over your head, bro.
Nowhere in history, monogamy has succeeded. Nowhere that you heard of a loyal king. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And he was one of the wisest men that ever lived.
But do you think it's possible to take care of them equally?
I don't think nothing is impossible once you got God with you and you leading with integrity and you got, the right intentions. Anything is possible. If those women wanted to work, it would work. If you can get everybody on the same synergy, it would work. But for the most part, that's the challenging part. Your foundation got to be strong. You as a man have to be the priest, have to be the leader, have to be the cornerstone of that relationship. And now some people might be like, what do you mean by priest? You have to set the religion for that house. You gotta be on one accord with your wife because you're gonna pass that spirituality down to them kids. You can't have no division because if you don't, that woman could end up pulling you away from your spirituality or what you believe in. And that's what happened to King Solomon. He started praying to other gods and other idols because the other women that was in his house had different religions and they asked him for temples and shrines that they wanted to build. And eventually he complied, wanted to compromise and wanted to be understanding and wanted everybody to get along. And then sooner or later, God ended up cursing him because he committed adultery by praying to false God. You have to be on one accord. You have to be the priest, the leader, the king, the knight, everything to that household. Set the foundation, set the rules and the regulation, you dig?
Because what you gonna do when you out Miami and then you go to Atlanta and you out there and you handling business for 4 days and she's somewhere at home getting neglected? Who does she run to when she's neglected? Because the friends are tired of hearing. Who does she run to when every time you call, like, yeah, you talk to family, hold on, babe, I'll call you back. Got someone calling me. That's neglect, that's neglect, that's neglect. So eventually she gets to a point where she says, you know what? I am gonna fuck Jerome from Little Block because Jerome from Little Block at least gives me a little bit of time.
So you mean to tell me that the richer I am,
The more your bitch gonna get fucked, for sure. For sure.
and this is why I do what I do. This is why I cheat.
The broker I was, the more bitches I fucked. Because all I had was dick. I didn't have nothing to give. I can barely pay my own rent. Bitch, I'm gonna pay yours. All I got is dick. And all I got is time. And I give you some time, I'm eventually gonna give you some dick. But if I don't got no time, I can't give you dick. Time equals dick. Dick equals time.
I need y'all girls to think about this, right? Why would I sit here for years, grinding my ass off, building myself up to be a better person, make a bunch of more money, and blah, 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 yada, yada, just to get with you? Like, why would I build myself up and then meet you after I build myself up and say, you know what? You deserved everything I just worked hard for. Think about in your head, which sense does that make? That's like, I'm gonna break it down in dummy terms for y'all. That's like me doing 1,000 push-ups a day and then saying, you know what? You deserve all the muscles. Your body should get better. I'm in the gym 12 hours a day working out. And you know what? You should have the abs. You should have all the muscles and the strength. You deserve the muscles and the strength because I put all this work in the gym. You deserve to have muscles and strength. Do you see how stupid that sounds? That sounds dumb as fuck, doesn't it? So why would I work to make all this money, do all this by myself, on my own? You can, optionally, you could be a part of it. You're choosing not to. And then when I'm there, I say, you know what? You deserve this money. I just worked hard for it. No, you don't. Fuck.
Ain't no girl solid.
That's
Telling you.
not
You
sure.
cheated on a nigga before?
Hell yeah, and I
Right,
do
you
it
not
again.
solid. You cheated on a nigga before? You not solid. You cheated
But
on a nigga?
maybe.
You never cheated on a nigga.
Queens.
How many boyfriends you had?
Period.
You not solid. How many niggas you saw you love them to? At least 3, 4.
At least, yeah.
Why you loving that many niggas?
A lot of shit pissed me off. Like we got Lamar Ball going through divorce now, a separation, if you will. They're getting divorced after over 20 years of marriage, raising kids. Taking them to the NBA is legendary. Really, we all respect Lamar Ball. I mean, some people had some strife with him about him disciplining his kids and getting them to the top. Like, you know, um, a lot of black fathers get that, stigma, if you will, that he pushed the kids, and they might not have wanted to, do this or do that or, push themselves to greatness. But a lot of guys like, what's Michael Jackson dad, Joe Jackson, get the stigma of, pushing his kids to the top. But, his kids reap the benefits and everything else, and then um, you know, leave dad in the dust, I guess, I mean, not in LeBar Ball's case, I'm not saying that, but as the Jackson story showed, that's what kind of happens. But even right now, I know Lamar Ball is not really tripping off what's, his kids or his wife's doing. He's probably living his best life because, he's already beat, the cancer and all this and his leg and stuff like that he has to deal with. So like he shouldn't be, I mean, it's hard not to. It's not hard not to consider your family when your health isn't the best, but I guarantee like most people will be considering um their own stress levels at that point and making sure that they're living their best life, right? Because you never know what can happen to you, as he's seen, as he getting older, and everybody's gonna see at the end of the day. But Lamar Ball going through this after he nursed his wife to good health and making sure she went through her health scare and stuff like that with somebody by her side. He gets his leg amputated, I believe it was last year, and everybody was posting pictures and stuff like that, and he was pulling up in the Bentley thing, and he was looking good and healthy, and we like to see, an OG that's been shit. I think they had a TV show. They had all kind of shit, shoes, all kind of stuff. Um, the OG like that in the game, um, getting back to good health. You know what I'm saying? We want to see him, you know, looking strong and everything else, but at the end of the day. Um, his wife did decide to, separate from him, and he's saying that he's moved on, and you know, it's just crazy that relationships are ending more and more like this, and people are acting like it's something to just shrug their shoulders at because society sees this and then wonder, well, we're chasing the bag, right? Everybody's chasing the bag and to get in a relationship like that, you would think that they will last forever. But at the end of the day, a lot of these long term relationships that we've seen grow and flourish over the years um, ends up, you know, in a bad way, I guess. I mean, people grow apart and you can say people separate for different reasons, but as you can see, it's just happening more and more, and more people has to accept it, because that's just the way of the world, I guess. They even say Muslim relationships are declining and stuff. So it's crazy that you would think that religion and everything else could hold a relationship together, and then you end up with results like this. Um, all power to the family. Hopefully, everything goes how he wants it, and how the wife and the kids want it. But at the end of the day, people are more, you know, rebellious and stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. Silent acceptance. We ain't having it. Like, comment, subscribe.